guys, it's Sarah. So I wanted to go ahead and do a wrap up of the Rainbowthon Readathon that I just participated in. I hesitated on whether or not I was going to actually do a wrap up because I didn't do awesome in the readathon. I hit kind of a little bit of a slump towards the middle of it, which was like great timing, right? Right in the middle of a readathon, I get a slump. And then I kind of changed my TBR a little bit because I received a book in the mail from the publisher for review, and I didn't know when it was going to be coming. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when, and then I ended up getting it, and I was like, oh, I need to read this, so it is what it is. So I still want to tell you what I read because I did manage to read 3.5 books pretty much. The first one I started out with was Lullaby by Chuck Palahniuk, and this was on my TBR. This was for yellow, and I read this not as quickly as I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to maybe even be able to get through this in a day because it's not super long. It just took me a little bit longer. It was more dense than I thought it was going to be. I did enjoy this. It was weird and quirky, which I think is kind of his writing style anyway. And this is about a song that is kind of like from the past, from ancient times, and it was published into this book of like nursery rhymes from around the school, or from around the world, sorry. And people were reading some of these nursery rhymes and stories to their kids, and their kids would end up dead the next morning, and no one can figure out why. But one of the guys who is a reporter, I believe, he is at the crime scenes, and he figures out, he's noticing a trend that the same book is in all the kids' rooms and open to the same page, which has the song on it. So he's kind of figuring out that that's happening. He puts it to the test. He tests it on someone else. That person ends up dead the next morning. So he's figuring this out. He also meets up with a realtor who, she understands this culling song is what they call it. It's the culling song. And she has used it herself. So they're together trying to destroy all of these books that have been published. And so they can keep it from going mainstream and people actually finding out about it. So it was good. I gave it 4 stars, so solid. So the second full book that I finished in the week is The Last Anniversary. This is by Liane Moriarty, and this I listened to on audiobook. However, the audiobook was not very good. The book was good. The writing was good. I was pretty entertained the entire time, but just the narrator was not very good, and she sounded very robotic, and just, I don't know. I didn't dig it. I did listen to it because I have it, but this book follows a family in New Zealand, and they live on an island, and they're a little bit of a celebrity status because like decades ago, there was a baby that was abandoned there because the parents disappeared, and it became this huge mystery. The parents were never found. No one knows what happened to them. So they kind of became, I guess, celebrity status, I guess. And they actually ended up turning it into a franchise. Like, people can come and tour their house and see where the baby was when the parents disappeared and when it was found and all that stuff. So this also follows a girl named Sophie, who is the ex-girlfriend of one of the men in the family. And that house is actually left to Sophie in someone's will, the person who owned the house. So that was kind of the conflict there. Like, people are wondering why it was left to her when she's not even part of the family. So it was good. I gave it a solid 3. It wasn't amazing. I'm not raving about it. Even if I had just read it without the audiobook, it would have just been a 3 just because of the story. But I did enjoy the writing. I like Liane Moriarty's writing, and I'm definitely going to read some more by her. But it was pretty good. So halfway during the week, I ended up finding myself in a slump, which is great timing, right? I actually went a couple days where I didn't read very much at all, like maybe 10, 20 pages at the most throughout the entire day. And I don't know, I just found myself getting distracted by other things, and I was wanting to do other things instead of read, and I was just like, meh. So I decided to break away from the readathon and read something on my Kindle, and I read French Quarter, written by Lacey Alexander, and this is our book club pick for this month, which is a smut book, so that's what it's supposed to be. And I read that in a day, like 12 hours actually, because usually if I get into a slump, I like to read books like that because they're brainless. They are really quick, they're brainless, they're entertaining, so it goes really quickly, and it definitely worked. It got me out of my slump for sure. But yeah, I read it in 12 hours, and It was good. I gave it a 4 stars. I'll talk more about like the premise in my wrap up and stuff, but yeah, so it was kind of just what I needed to kind of get me out of that reading slump. So then I found myself in a little bit of a dilemma because I ended up receiving a book in the mail that I got from the publisher, and they want me to do a video review for it. So I had accepted it, and I just didn't know when it was coming. And since it came out on February 9th, I knew that like as soon as I got it, I was going to read it quickly so I can film a review and have it ready in February. And then I ended up getting it during the week, and I thought, I need to go ahead and start reading this because I need to do a review for it soon. So I ended up trading 2 of my books, my green, which was A Long Way Gone by Ishmael Bia, and my blue, which is The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. And I traded those for this book. And this book is Black Rabbit Hall, written by Eve Chase. And this has blue and green in the spine. There's some leaves in the spine here, and then the rest of it's the blue sky. So I was like, okay, I'll just trade those 2 for this one because this is something that I definitely need to start because I want to do a video review in February. I think I've said that 4 times. So I did start this. I'm almost halfway through. It's pretty good. It's a slow burn. So it's not like super action packed, but there have been a few times where I went, So I'm still kind of trying to figure out how there's 2 different storylines going on, and I'm waiting to see how they interconnect because they haven't connected yet. But so yeah, so I'm in the middle of this so far and working my way through it. So I'm going to hopefully be finishing that up this week so that I can post a review for it. But yeah, so this is my current read right now. So I ended up not finishing 3 books from my TBR of 5 books that I chose. And so it was my blue, my green and my blue, and then my purple, which was Bright Lights Big Ass by Jen Lancaster. So, but I don't want to put these back on my shelf. I want to read them because I pulled them out and I'm excited to read them. So I'm going to keep them on my nightstand. They're not taking priority for me for this month because I need to read Black Rabbit Hall for a review. And I also want to read Passenger by Alexander Bracken, which is my new author for the month of February. So those are my priorities right now. And then as soon as those are done, I want to read these. So these will probably end up, end of February into March, but I want to read them. So I'm going to keep them on my nightstand. I am still going to have other books that I need to read, for March, but I'm hoping to squeeze these in, when I can. But yeah, so I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to these. Okay, guys, that's my wrap up. I wasn't super successful, I don't think, just because I picked 5 and I really only read 2.5, but, well, 3.5. But one of them wasn't for, one of them actually didn't count for the readathon, so I don't know. It is what it is. It wasn't the most successful readathon for me, and that's okay. They're not all going to be amazingly awesome, but I did read 3.5 books this week, so that's pretty good. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and if you participated in Rainbowthon, let me know what you guys read, or just whatever you read this week. What was your favorite book that you read this week? All right, I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.